Hey guys, it's Olivia. I'm very honored and grateful to have my own home birthing midwife here today, Janine O'Brien. She's an endorsed privately practicing midwife with privileges at Westmead Hospital, and she runs a beautiful business called IBIRTH Intimate Birth and Beginnings, and is a calm birth practitioner as well. Welcome.
Thanks
Yeah.
for having me. It's
Yeah.
so exciting.
I know. Right before we started recording, we were reflecting on, my home birth story, and tears already nearly came up, pretty much, reflecting on the growth together as a team and individually. So to be able to share that here today, yeah, is all divine timing. Maybe
I was just looking at some of the questions I thought it might be a good idea to weave your story
yeah.
through some of the questions because
Yes.
you've said you hadn't shared your experience yet.
No. And we'll definitely go there for home birth as, yeah, a spiritual awakening. When I reflect back now, 9 months later, I really, I'm deeply moved and part of feeling so honored that you're here today and sharing your wisdom as we will dive
Feels
more into it.
full circle.
Yeah, 9 months in, 9 months
It's out.
out. And for other women or parents, whoever's tuning in, getting a holistic picture of the journey of pregnancy and birthing. Because when I fell pregnant with Violet, it was a whole new world, of course, my first child. And straight away, it felt like I was thrown into this portal of choosing, okay, I can listen to the mainstream of what I should do and what a lot of women around me have done. For instance, birth in a hospital, it be a certain way, uh, read certain books, for instance, but my body instantly was leading me elsewhere, and I had to just shut off in a way to focus on what made me feel really held from the beginning because it's precious. You're growing life, and for me, it's energetic too. And there was a lot of projections to start of, yeah, which hospital or who will be there, or injections, and all these things that freaked me out. I just felt like I needed to go within, which I did, and discern what was right. And I was very blessed to have you come on the journey.
So how did you find me?
Yeah.
How did you find that, I suppose, knowing inside of you to look for a private midwife? Because it's quite
Yeah.
rare in our, as you said, most women will birth in the hospital
Mm.
and go to a private obstetrician.
Mm.
How did you get there?
Thankfully, I had beautiful women around me having home births. So Dee's having had you,
Yeah.
and she couldn't speak more highly of you. And I had followed you back then. That was before I was planning to have kids. And straight away, I started researching midwives on all the beaches. And after we spoke on the phone, it just felt, yeah, it felt like I knew you. And
Word of mouth.
yeah, it felt right. Yeah. So other women who went before me really opened that door, realizing that's where I feel most safe to dive into this transformation.
Have one person.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And in my home,
Yeah.
I just knew. But it was, yeah, I mean, it was a journey in itself to get my husband on board, who was conditioned to think hospital was the safest way
Mm.
to give birth.
Just in case, right?
Yeah, the fear, and I had to sit with that too. People ask me why home birth, and over the 9 months it was unraveling as to why I did choose it, and thank goodness I did, because my birth, wow, it blows me away every time I think about it. And now I look at Violet and I'm like, oh my God.
Right there.
Yeah.
Right there.
Yeah, in our home.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but thank you for asking me. I really want to explore your journey and the incredible service that you do, definitely on your Dharma. And I remember thanking you quite a few times with the postpartum visits for choosing this path that you're on. It's powerful. So, what brought you to yeah, your business in the private midwifery world.
It feels like a long journey because I have a vision board of myself being
Mm.
around, must have been five, maybe 5 years old, standing outside my unit block in Newport with a vision board of all babies and mums on it.
Mhm.
So I think I very early knew I wanted to work with women and babies.
Mm.
But back then it wasn't, you had to do nursing first. So it was always my trajectory was nursing, so I could be a midwife. I came from a very big family.
Mm.
So one of the oldest cousins, and I think we had on one side 60 cousins. So quite a lot of cousins came after me. And so we were always handling babies and very confident with them. There was no fear with us picking them up, or whereas I see a lot of fear with adults and babies, and I know at the moment because I've just become a grandmother to twins. And so the way that when Frankie picks up the babies, everyone's like, I'm like, just leave her be. She's actually helping me with 2 a.m. feed. She knows how to do it. She's very confident, capable. So yeah, from when I was 6, pretty much. And I was a childhood actress and was nominated for a Logie Award. And I remember in the Manly Daily article, it said Janine really loves acting, but wants to be a nurse when she grows up. So it was right back then. But it was really the final, I think, motivation was after my second baby was born when I was 20. Vaginally, naturally. It wasn't a hospital, but I was a VBAC. And the power that came,
Which is
vaginal birth
birth
after cesarean,
yeah.
VBAC.
Yeah.
I thought in the moment that her head was out of my body, because I had a cesarean for my first baby and didn't get to experience the flood of hormones that opens the portal into motherhood and matrescence. And by the way, matrescence is still not in the diary yet, in the dictionary. Apparently it's not a word yet, even though it's something we all experience.
That
transition into motherhood.
That identity shift, yeah.
Huge.
Yeah.
But it's not acknowledged yet in the dictionary, not the diary. It's definitely in my diary. I was like, every woman needs to experience this. This is phenomenal. And it's the birth and the hormones that shift you into this powerful, protective, don't touch my baby, and women like that are powerful, and do we really want that many powerful women in our society? So, when you think about how many women actually give birth physiologically on their own power, on their own steam, there's very little these days. And that must take a lot of that parenting intuition and power away from women.
Oh, goosebumps. And my next question was around when for you it became sacred work and goosebumps because it was your own experience of birthing.
Yeah, right then in that moment that my baby's body hadn't even left my body yet.
Oh, wow.
And the midwife took her off me and wrapped her up and gave it to my partner, and I was like, give me my baby. I was like, oh, this like lioness came out of me.
I remember when I was my body was pushing Violet out, and the raw came, and we spoke about it prior, and I was like, oh no, I think I'll be more quiet. And I was right
up to the end.
Which, yeah, 10-hour labor and 2.5 hours of pushing, but the half an hour of pushing the raw or the primal came over me, and I felt like the old part of me resisted it. Like it came in and I had to move with it. If I try to resist it, it would just cause more like a roadblock. It just needed to come through. But I was scared to voice it. It was interesting. It was like facing this or loving this part of me that I hadn't previously known or witnessed in this really powerful way. And then once a few roars came through and you really helped me drop deeper, you're like, deeper, live, deeper, low. Because it sounded like,
and that's the fear, right?
Yeah.
Fear is the high.
Yeah.
bringing it down is where the power is at, right?
Yeah, and I just kept thinking about Sam, my husband, like showing that side of me.
Mm.
But once I let it pass through, yeah, then she arrived
Mm.
not long after, and it was healing. It felt like a doors opening, like you said, with the initiation of.
But even honoring yourself in that space, your body was trying to get up and you were like trying to get down. I remember I was like, just yes, get, if you need to
Yeah.
stand up with it, stand up with it, you know.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
don't know what was happening in my body. It just
Took over. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Mm.
So that was my beginning, was the birth of my daughter. And then I had to become because I hadn't finished high school. I only got to year 11 because I had my baby in year 10, my first baby. And so then I had to wait to be a mature age student to get to uni. So I did my enrolled nursing first,
Mm-hmm.
with 2 children as a single mum,
Wow.
which was fun. And then went straight on from trainee enrolled nursing into enrolled nursing to registered nursing and then into midwifery.
Mm.
Yeah, it was a continuum. Didn't stop until I got there.
Mm.
Mm.
So 25, more than 25 years now. You're
25 years
25.
this year. It's real. It was 1999 I
Wow.
started. Yeah, started the journey.
Mm.
Yeah.
And what I'm seeing is your journey from being in the hospital realm and working with different medical practitioners to now really running the private midwifery space at home as a main passion.
I used to get really angry in the hospital, like a lot of rage used to come up, and I was very young and very blonde and very judged for being a young blonde woman in the workforce and felt very dumb actually
Mm.
by I suppose the patriarch,
Mm.
and it was because the rage I wasn't able to yet work with my breath.
Mm.
um, so obviously my fight or flight would take over when I would see injustice or harm or assault,
Mm-hmm.
and so that would make me stupid because I was in my fight or flight rather than being in my smart,
Mm.
being able to breathe into my heart and into my brain and into my neocortex where intelligence is. So it wasn't until I actually did calm birth that I learned how to rebreathe, and I found that really helped me be in big areas with handover with lots of male dominant forced doctors and obstetricians.
Mm.
And that's where I found my power actually after doing my calm birth course and became a practitioner. And that course healed a whole lot of layers, since we're talking about peel back the layers.
Yeah.
Of the onion, because it actually helped me to relearn how to parent.
Mm.
So I used to be a bit of a screamer and a shouter because that was how I was parented by one of my parents.
Mm-hmm.
And that was my default when they weren't listening.
Mm.
And we all know children, you can't control them. So,
Yeah.
you know, when I felt out of control, it would be the scream. And so that shifted and changed for me, and it helped me to reparent my then 8 and 12-year-old. And then we're both girls as well. So coming into teenagehood was really tough. And then it helped me be, I suppose, more reflective with my own mother and my relationship with her. So the calm birth really helped with my practice and being more smart in a workplace, parenting, and being parented by my mother.
And would you say it also led you more to your heart-led passions of empowering women in ways where they feel more safe, whether it's hospital or home? Like,
Yeah, I don't like, I don't know if I feel resonated. I think word use is really important, and
yeah,
I don't feel like I empower women. I feel like it's like almost reteaching
yeah,
or relearning or reawakening what you
mm.
already know
Mm.
inside, you know, because women come with everything they already need, and it's not something I gift to them,
Mm.
you know.
You're a mirror.
Yeah, something they already have, and just helping them to relearn all the skills that they have inside themselves. But calm birth was definitely a piece of the puzzle of the practice that I love. So being able to be a private midwife and do those birth classes with them and then be in the birth space with
Mm.
them. It's a full circle. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
What would you say has been the biggest surprise for you witnessing women birthing at home? That shift from birthing in the hospital to home.
It's a good question. I think it's in their space. So I'm the visitor,
Mm,
and there's a big power difference in that. You know, in the hospital, they have to leave their home, their nest,
mm,
and there's I suppose, a shift in their hormones.
mm,
And at home, they don't have to shift the hormones. You definitely notice there's a shift when I arrive.
mm,
Like, am I still safe? And obviously, we have a known relationship, so the shift's a lot quicker than what I used to notice in the hospital.
mm,
But then that shift can occur again um, when the second midwife arrives, or I mean, you know, even on last week, I witnessed a woman birthing her baby, her third baby. She also was a VBAC, but she had birthed one baby already after her cesarean. And I literally sent a text message to Kate because in the birth space, she was parenting her 3 year, almost 4 year old, and trying to give birth to her next baby. Her oldest son is a quieter child, but obviously her little one is an Aries like me, so she's quite vocal.
mm.
And she's like very vocal in this mum's birth space. And I kept saying, you know, come to me if you need something, I'll answer help. And
Keep mum in that.
keep mum in the zone. But the mum kept coming out of her zone to
Mm.
be with her little one. And I sent Kate a message saying, this woman is birthing and parenting at the same time. Like, we are awesome. Women are awesome, right? Um, but even just, you know, at the same time, the mum's trying to push out her little sister, or not so little, she was over 4 kilos. Um, the little girl decided she wanted to have a poo. And so she's on the toilet going, waiting for someone to wipe her bum right at that moment as this baby's being born. And I just think that, you know, birth is such um, a space where hormones are catchy, right? That
Mm.
even this little girl had the urge to push
Mm.
at the same time her mum did. Um, yeah,
So that surprised you seeing.
I just get surprised at birth
Yeah.
all the time by
Yeah.
women and their capabilities.
Mm.
Because I find it such, in an undisturbed space, women can really drop
Mm.
into another space. And I always thought you can't birth with your brain,
Mm.
but women do all the time because they
Mm.
tell me afterwards, oh, I was thinking this and I was thinking that and I was thinking this and I was like, you know, so they still can birth when they're up in their head, but it just makes it a lot harder for them,
Mm.
right?
Well,
Because they feel it more.
yeah. Well, I straight away think of harmony, all of our layers, emotional, mental, physical, spiritual bodies being in harmony, which is wholeness, and to bring that through birth. I know I really worked on that in my labor, and my mind kept going everywhere. The fear portal, I'd call it. Oh, it's going towards there. No, shut the fear portal out. And then I was thinking about random people in my life. Oh, no, come back to the present. It was a constant come back to my breath, here now, feel my body. And it wasn't right until the end where I could feel my body really opening and I knew, wow, that was so close. That I then noticed my deeper beliefs come to surface of like being hard on myself, like wanting to escape what I was feeling because it was intense. It was like a shattering. I wouldn't say it was painful. I'm very cautious of saying pain. I feel like we
The
can,
pain is real, right?
yeah,
And it's, you know, again, what means pain? Does it feel like poking your eye out with an
yeah,
ice pick? Or does it feel like a pressure or a tightening or a muscle working hard or an opening, an
yeah,
expansion? I
yeah.
mean,
And intensity, I call it.
intensity, yeah, but we can call it pain, right?
Yeah,
Because for some women it really
true.
is,
Yeah.
you know, and I felt it with my second
Mm.
because I was so disturbed, but with my third, I was very undisturbed.
Mm.
So I don't remember feeling pain at all. It was
Mm.
hard work,
Yeah.
but I don't remember pain. But that's not real for the majority of women in
Mm.
society are going to feel pain. So if we mask it
Mm.
and say it's not painful, when they do experience pain, they're going to think there's something really wrong,
Well, then that comes down to words and
right?
how we interpret like
Yeah,
language, right?
yeah,
There's blocks in language.
yeah,
But I remember you were saying it's hard work, and that really helped me in the birth space.
yeah,
That really helped me stay resilient
mm,
to keep going,
yeah,
realizing it is hard work. Like,
yeah,
holy shit, I was vomiting twice.
yeah.
Body was shaking.
All your fingers are trying to open, and you're like, am I going to tighten this one or
Yeah.
keep this one open? Oh,
Then I got hot, then I got
cold.
cold. Thirsty, not.
Yeah,
Too much sugar, don't give me grapes.
yeah. I always love the women who come and go, oh, I've done ayahuasca. Would you? Did you? Was it you? Were
No,
you one of
I've
them?
never done ayahuasca.
Oh, and they're like, oh, if I've done ayahuasca, I can do birth. And I just giggle. I've never done anything like that, but it sounds like, something where all of your body's like losing control, right?
Yeah,
And that's the whole point is like, let it go,
yeah.
like, let go of the control. Because,
Yeah, it is.
yeah,
Yeah. Hence the mind game.
yeah,
Yeah, so right at the end, where my mom would say, come on, like push, come body. It was then when I caught that um force energy, because
mm,
force never works in my life. I mean, maybe it does in some, for me it doesn't.
yeah,
And I could feel how tight everything felt. And to surrender in that moment, I said, no, I love you, body. I love you, baby. I love you, guide, spirit, God.
mm,
And that's when I felt Violet's head come out.
release,
My
yeah,
body just opened
yeah,
because I wasn't resisting, like, come on.
yeah,
It was like, okay, no, divine timing, surrender. And yeah, it moves me when I realize those resources, the books I read and
mm.
shutting things off. That's what I need. I'm not saying that's the way for a beautiful birth for everyone, right?
Yeah.
It's different.
But you say you kept coming back to your breath, and really
Yeah.
that's where it's at, right?
Yeah.
Because breath is life,
Yeah.
and that's where the pain relief is in the breath.
Mm-hmm.
It mobilizes hormones.
Yeah.
It allows your body to soften. And if you tighten,
Mm-hmm.
it's only going to make your body's very powerful. It will push through that tightness, but the
Mm.
outward effect is more pain.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you let it go and you surrender it, which I always just think in life, it's the journey is always surrender. It is
Mm-hmm.
falling pregnant, staying pregnant,
Mm.
birthing, parenting
Mm.
forever. I honestly naively thought when I had my first baby when I was 15 that I would give birth to a baby, and I never thought about her growing up. And here I am. She's all grown up. She's 33, but I'm still parenting her.
Yeah.
And then there's another layer of grandparenthood that's a whole new surrender that
Wow.
I'd never ever thought about. It's even harder to surrender as a grandma because you're not the one doing it and you have to let them go again on their own journey, right?
Yeah, through your daughter or
Yeah,
and then wow.
yeah,
Surrender, yeah. Since becoming mum, that's been a key.
yeah. And it's easier to surrender with somebody that you have a known relationship with when you think about one-to-one midwifery. We know the outcomes with a midwife that you know
Mm.
are going to be better because there's that trusting relationship there. To have to open all these sphincters in your body
Mm-hmm.
is hard enough, let alone to do it amongst strangers
Mm.
or someone that might be, oh, shift change now. My 8 to 12 hours is up now. I'm going to introduce you to a new midwife right when you have to go deep into your portal,
No, no, no.
right?
I remember when you rocked up at our place, you turned up at what, 1 a.m.?
Mm-hmm.
5 hours I was already in labor. And it was a grounding sensation for me because I could feel his
Energy.
nerves. Yeah, it was building. I was building and then blowing up the pool in the background. He needed an extra pair of hands.
Yeah, it's a big space holding.
Yeah.
birth for a woman when you've never
Someone
been in
know.
that space
Yeah.
before either. For the guys,
Yeah, he was following me around like what's the quote that I brought in with me? The horse following.
like a good horse follows its rider from
Thank you.
Stephen Gaskin.
Yeah,
My
we
man.
spoke about that a lot before I went into labour, and he did. It
Yeah.
was amazing.
Yeah, he was really
He
good.
was just hands on that one labour position on my pelvis.
Yeah, the hip
Big
squeeze.
woman.
Big woman.
Yeah, with
Yeah.
pillows around the house.
Yeah.
So I straight away went primal. That
Yeah.
surprised me too.
Yeah.
That I went straight to the floor from the beginning.
Yeah.
Didn't.
Who would want to be on their back? What an
Yeah.
uncomfortable position.
But I know some women can talk in between their surges. I did not want to talk one bit. Straight away, Sam started asking questions. I was like, don't ask me questions.
Don't ask, just do.
See it as a trial run. Didn't think I was actually in birth. But then as you arrived, yeah, the energy grounded. I felt Sam surrender more in trust because you built that relationship with him
As
too.
well.
Yeah, he came to all the sessions pretty much beforehand, and all that work we put in, it was paying off essentially. And you grabbed my hand, and instantly, I think you gave me a little kiss on my hand, and I just straight away felt, oh, that
Could drop
feminine
right in.
presence, yeah, and you being here like really moved me. Yeah. So thank you for being so heart-led and present in what you do.
It's a beautiful space to walk into. It still gives me like just being here. I get real emotional. Yeah, watching you and your power, and starting your family. Yeah,
Yeah, so much conditioning came up for me.
yeah.
Journey and pregnancy. Have you noticed that with women when they're fallen pregnant?
Of course, because it's often not even your. So you might have moved away from your parents' beliefs, that programmable state from when you're kind of 6, and then into your consciousness at 12. You
Yeah.
start running your life, and then what happens when you start having a baby is it all starts coming back. That red thread, as Jane Hardwick Collins talks about, and it's not even often, obviously, it's your story because you were there when you were born, but it could be your grandma or your great grandma's story that's coming through, and then obviously you start telling people, "Oh, I'm planning on having a home birth," and boom.
This happened and this happened and
Yeah. Oh, even my best friend, when I was 28 weeks pregnant, we were walking down to have breakfast, and she said, "Oh, have you done all the tests?" I said, "I've done what I've needed to." She goes, "Oh, good. I'm really glad you've done them." I said, "The baby's good." She goes, "I'm not worried about the baby. I don't know the baby. I'm worried about you. You could die." And I was like, "Whoa." And at the moment, I get a bit gobsmacked by people's comments, and it's not till afterwards that I go home and I'm like, what did she just say to me? Like, that wasn't even a fear of mine that she projected. And I was so angry that she thought she could tell me what to do with my body and where I birth. And I'm a home birth midwife. And she was telling me, how to do my job. Just that projection of fear of her own stuff.
And then when you're pregnant, I
very,
found I was hypersensitive.
very vulnerable to those seeds that could then grow. And I just kept having to tell myself, that's not my story.
Yeah.
That's not my story. It's not. I couldn't talk to her for a little while afterwards. I was a bit angry at her.
Yeah. So discerning that cord cutting.
Yeah, but it definitely does. I mean, some of the women in my care don't feel safe enough to tell their parents until afterwards because of the projections that could be shared. And then afterwards, it's like, oh, well, you're lucky. No, it's not luck. The women have done a lot of work in seeking someone that they feel safe with on their journey. That's a lot of work in itself.
Yeah.
Stepping outside of the system. Building trusting relationships, often doing a lot of research, evidence-based research. And there's a lot out there on the safety of home birth. Regardless if it's your first or subsequent pregnancy, the evidence again confirms with a known one-to-one midwife that it actually can be a safe place to birth, even if you have complexities. Because a lot of women will be told, oh, only if you are low risk. And I don't like the word risk because there's risk in everything we do in life, getting in the car, getting on an aeroplane, you know, handling power tools, which I probably shouldn't do. I'm not very good with power tools. But there's risk in all those things we do, and yet we don't even think about getting in the car every day.
Yeah.
Go swimming in the ocean on the beaches at the moment. I mean, you could get eaten by a shark.
Yeah.
I'm sticking to the pool, but that's my choice, you know, the same with birth. Where you put yourself is a woman's choice and should be a woman's choice. And if we take that away from her, we're going down a very rocky pathway that, you know, that woman, even with free birth, and I obviously am a home birth midwife and I am very much into one-to-one midwifery care. We have birth with women with knowledge for centuries and centuries. And if women at the moment feel that their choice is to birth without somebody with knowledge and wisdom in that birth space, that still is her choice, you know, and to take that away from her, we're walking on rocky ground, you know. But I very much believe in midwifery care. That's where I pitch my tent. Because I think women deserve to be held and cared for in a space of birth, so they don't have to think, you know, because that can open up a portal into something pretty powerful, you know.
And with specific examples of noticing women who have been, I would say, embodied in their experience of being in their body versus mind, what biggest things have you noticed in terms of differences with those who aren't necessarily in that embodied full experience?
I feel like they have to work harder.
Yeah, you mentioned like as in
it takes longer.
Yeah.
The time in labor takes longer.
Yeah.
Or they really have to work harder to push their babies out because that sort of fetal reflex isn't there. And it's not there for everybody. And that's why, you know, when we talk about breathing our babies down, yeah, that works for some women. But some women have to really actually, you know, work hard to push their baby out, even sometimes with their third, you know. And other women, it just looks so effortless, you know, even though birth is never effortless. Always comes with effort.
Yeah.
You know, so it sets you up to be a mum because parenting can be really hard.
Well, just breastfeeding. I remember after giving birth, I was, in bliss. Oh my God, she's here. Didn't know she was a girl. That just made me more emotional in the best way. And then straight away, I was like, oh, you've got to feed your baby. What? How? How? I did, I forget who it was, of course. What was that one?
Thompson method?
Yes.
Did the Thompson
Yeah,
method, I remember.
thinking, sweet, I'm so confident. And then Violet's here and she wasn't latching.
She was teeny tiny too, wasn't she?
Yeah, but my nipples, I didn't know weren't long enough.
You worked really hard the first 3-4 days with Sam
Oh my
and Violet.
gosh. For the first 3 weeks, I'd
Yeah.
pump after every feed, and newborns you feed like 24 times a day.
Yeah, some of them.
Yeah, up all night. It was a massive shock to my system. It really was. And now I look back, I know it was the question I asked my team helped me be the mother I need to be for Violet. But it took me a few months to process the intensity of that period.
But you did it.
Yeah, it was deep though. It felt like breaking a lot of things in my lineage of breastfeeding being challenging and
That was a story that you came with.
low supply by 6 months. And
you know how easy that happens though, because you get into the tricks of the top ups, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, it's like, well, you have to top up because of low supply, not detaching properly. We've got to call the milk in, but then how do you get out of that trap? You know, and if you don't take it, you don't make it. You know, but you worked very hard to get through that and to work through that. Do you think it affected you as a mum and the bonding with Violet, with all the having to do not scheduled, but all the joy of those early moments?
No,
Good.
no, that amazes me about us as women.
Mm.
No,
You're still able to soak it up.
yeah,
Yeah, didn't feel like a
yeah.
industrialized cow.
No, it's funny the um, coping mechanism of retrospective lens. Once you're past it, then you look back and you think, "Holy cow!"
Yeah,
Literally.
literally.
Whoa, we did that.
Yeah.
And Sam and I talked about it. He was feeding me while I was pumping, and her on the other boob. He was squeezing the colostrum out for me while Violet was on the other. And thank goodness that you're present through tough times, so then later digest it. That's been helpful. Just being a mum too. Like having tough nights with teething at the moment. It's like we still rise again, we get outside, we rely on what really uplifts me, which will uplift Violet too. And then when Sam gets home, I can share the load energetically, and then I'm like, holy crap, that was actually a big day. Do you know what I mean?
I do.
I think that's amazing that we can do that. But it's a choice too to be present. Like people always say, oh, just soak it in, it goes so fast. And I've never understood that.
It really does.
It does. For
Really
me, I'm
does.
like, she's 9 months, but I've been fully here. Yeah, I'm grateful. I've been like, oh, soaking it all up. But maybe one day I will agree with that. Maybe not.
I was speaking to an actual best friend of mine, but also a previous boyfriend over the weekend, and we were young loves. And his sister was my best friend who's passed away. But you know, we were talking about how quickly it seems like yesterday that we first met when we were 14, and then
Yeah.
here we are.
Mm.
And because obviously I was a mum at 15, and you know, my daughter is 33. You know, how did that happen? And then I remember my midwife saying to me with Frankie, again, obviously having such a big gap, you can really, having adult children and a newborn, you can really resonate how quickly it goes. And my midwife said to me, enjoy every nanosecond. Because I think you do wish it away because you want them to start doing this, you want to start doing that. And then the second one, you definitely kind of go, oh, well, let's like just really soak this up a bit more. But you're in the trenches of then having to parent two children, so you can't enjoy it as much. But when you go back and have a newborn after having adult children, it's like,
Bliss.
yeah, just pause every minute, every second.
Yeah, I have been doing that, and I'm gonna own that.
Yeah. It's quite a gift to do that with your first. Good for you.
Must be all the meditation. Just being really present, hyper present.
Yeah, even like you said, when you're in labour and birth, I mean, it's the mind's job, isn't it, to sort of run away from here to there. And you were able to bring yourself back and go, oh no, come back to the breath. So you are practiced at it, right? And the only way to get a permanent response is to be practiced.
The muscle.
Yeah, it's a muscle.
Yeah, I'm thinking about women who are contemplating where to have their baby.
Well, there's lots of privately practicing midwives around. So to step outside into the realm of having a private midwife, it's just such a beautiful model of care. And if you find someone that you love, like how exciting is it having your appointments and seeing that person regularly and building that relationship.
Yeah, but even what we did, no, yeah. I mean, I'm not sure if I were to go to a hospital, I would say no, that they wouldn't ask me the questions you asked me about my mother and her birth with me. Yeah.
No, and because they don't have time often. I mean, I've been a midwife in the system and I used to get in trouble for having too long of appointments. Because how do you get to know somebody if you don't take the time? And even when I mean, we were at our last appointment before birth and it all came up then, didn't it? We'd had lots of time beforehand, and I suggested, because your renos weren't finished, that you would have to make peace with that because you could possibly birth at 38 weeks like you were born. And there was a bit of resistance and fear that came with that, wasn't there?
A lot. I cried like that whole weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then what happened?
Yeah. Well, again, the mind, it tricked me. I just kept saying no. I need a few more weeks in our newly renovated place to settle. But that whole week before I went into labor was bliss. What is time, really?
Mm.
It's how we spend it. And thank gosh, that week I got like 3 massages, went to my planet Pilates class. I was introverted to the max, dancing around the house. And that was the final week.
You surrendered to it, didn't you?
But yeah, you had to ask me the hard question to really sit with actually, yeah.
And had I not known what your mum's journey was with you, then
Mm.
you might not have been so willing to be so open to surrendering to that, right?
And I mean, again, life. I read something the other day about life being the ink on your finger. So we all have unique fingerprints, right? But life is the ink.
Mm.
And that really moved me because life happens in the way, this is what I believe, in the way it needs to show you who you really are.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, I was resisting the fact that we were literally a few weeks away from my due date and we weren't even in our new home yet. And I was living with my parents and I didn't have to, but I chose to confront a lot of old stories and conditioning there where deep-seated things surfaced. And I really didn't want that to happen. I wanted to be my oxytocin bubble, just myself, just soaking it all up. But I didn't have a choice really. Like life presented itself. And I obviously needed to move through that
Mm.
to then be where I am now. And I see Violet's soul being part of that. And that the soul doesn't drop in until the third trimester
Mm.
into their body.
Mm.
And I was living with my parents then, finishing the renos. And wow, just what was revealed in the conditioning for me, like dimming my light, not using my voice enough, fear of being yelled over, or not being seen for my magnificence and my wisdom enough. But then when I lived back there for those 2 months, I was able to step into that. It was a turning point. I chose differently.
You put some loving limits up for yourself.
Big loving limits. A lot of big breakdowns.
Put down your mum and dad's stuff.
Yes.
And were able to come into yourself,
It was
building your new
chaos.
family. Yeah.
Oh my God, goosebumps, chaos. Like,
Yeah.
and then the fear of, is this affecting my baby? No, coming back to the deeper work of, yeah, what we shed, what we break cycles of, we're freeing those who come next.
That's right, that little
Oh.
daffodil.
Yeah, the
Across the I love it. I still remember that.
yeah, but I was resisting because I was like, holy shit, I'm renovating this, that, this. Had no idea it would be like this.
Yeah, and I think we
So,
still pass stuff down,
yeah, of
because that's
course.
life, right? And
We're human.
we can't, we need to be a little bit gentle on ourselves
Yeah.
too, because obviously our children choose us. I think that's,
Yeah.
and they come for certain lessons too. And one of the biggest things I find, in all this big heartfelt work that we do and that
Yeah.
we hold is that the repair, and coming back to, we only, as parents, do the very best we can.
Yeah.
And our parents did the very best they can. And just, being able to acknowledge and forgive and, but then with our children, doing the repair with them if we do step outside of, our conscious self, which we as mums can and do.
My goodness.
Yeah, when we're tired or feeling unsupported or something really activates us and our children bring poke, 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 poke. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The forgiveness piece, but also the gratitude piece.
Yeah.
Back to the ink, right?
Yeah.
Life is giving you
What
this.
you need.
Yeah, but also to feel who you are, that helped me integrate a lot more.
Yeah.
It's not just what you need to heal. I feel like I'm not past that, but I'm reframing.
It's how you need to grow.
Yeah, and letting life be awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, that's challenging moving through some things that are very uncomfortable in my family, for instance. but it showed me how strong I am.
Yeah,
And I brought that in the birth room.
absolutely you
Cool,
did.
thank you. I used my voice.
Mm,
Oh, I'm going to be more visible in my voice. Launch podcast. You know what I mean? It's
yeah,
like, let's lift the vibe. And
yeah,
we're all human. We've all got stuff and
yeah,
shadows. And
yeah,
but hey, isn't this cool? I just learned that about myself.
yeah.
That comes with space, though, right?
It does. It's like the generational, everyone's like at the moment in this current, I think, so funny the other day, someone taught me something about, I was like, oh yeah, I was born in the 20th century, and my husband just looked at me and he went, you cannot homeschool Frankie ever. I was like, huh? Then I spoke to someone else, she goes, no, Janine, you were born in the 21st century. I was like, was I? Okay. But this current generation is always triggered, you know, and it's generational trauma, and we're always in the negative, right? But I really think our generations have given us a lot of power,
Mm-hmm.
you know? So again,
The way.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, shown us maybe we don't want to do it that way.
yeah,
Thank you for walking that path.
yeah,
'Cause I'm good.
yeah. This is like a little session on the couch.
We're nice, so close and personal too. You don't have a choice, sorry.
Oh, that's good.
Uh, what is the most powerful birth you have witnessed? There's a story.
Oh,
Dive into a story.
I really don't know. When I saw that question, I was like, oh, um, there are so many. I just think every birth is powerful, and but I mean, I've worked with a lot of twins, and to push
Yeah.
one baby out, wow. But to then do it twice, physiologically, is just next level. And I will have to say, if I really bring it in, was a beautiful twin mama I worked with last year.
Mm,
Um, and at home,
mm,
and she had really pushed back, and the doctor was at first, no, we're not supporting that. And then when we went in and she pled her case, she goes, okay, I'll support you, but I can't come to your home birth, but I will, if you need me, I'll be here. And like, I'd been there for 35 minutes, and then she was in the wardrobe doing a step class, you know, like she was doing
mm.
a workout, smiling and chit-chatting. And I unloaded my car. Literally took me minutes to unload my car, and I've walked back in and she's like, "Oh." I was like, oh my gosh, the second midwives aren't and third midwives aren't even here yet.
Yeah.
And within minutes this first baby came, and I was like, oh my gosh, how far away are those other midwives? We've got a breech baby coming, no one else is here, there's a lot of blood on the floor. And at that moment, I thought maybe twin births should be done in hospital. Like, just a very split
Yeah.
moment. I thought, oh,
You're a big door.
yeah, my thinking, my emotional, oh my goodness, what's going
Yeah.
on here? And then I was like, no, no, you know what to do.
Yeah.
Spoke to the woman and I said, look, I think we need a second baby. I know you wanted to wait, but there's a lot of blood
Second
here.
midwife.
Well, no, she wanted to wait for the second baby to
Oh,
come on his own time.
okay.
And I said, I don't know where this blood is coming from. I
Mm.
think we need to have a baby now. She goes, yeah, I agree. That's a lot of blood. So we broke his waters with her consent. And literally before she's holding her first baby, and before anyone could even get a camera on this second baby, he's up to his shoulders, um, coming out bum first. And the dad's trying to pull him out, and I'm trying to hold him back from and holding her first baby, she births her second baby breech within seconds.
Mm.
And then she sat there holding her two babies in her wardrobe at home. We'd had the birth pool wasn't pumped up in time because it was that quick. Nothing. I just threw a whole lot of drop sheets on the
Yeah.
floor because I was like, it's happening here in the wardrobe. In
Was it a wardrobe?
It was a wardrobe. It was in her wardrobe.
This was hers, not like
A little
someone's
cave.
spare
It was literally her wardrobe. Yeah.
I knew you were speaking about a powerful woman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but even just for her, the power of
Mm-hmm.
going against my advice to birth. So it wasn't just the birth, it was the breaking all glass ceilings,
Wow.
going to the doctor and speaking her truth at the doctor and saying, well, I know you're saying you're not going to support me, but I know where I need to birth.
Mm,
going to your midwife and going, I really want you to still
mm,
birth with me, but I also want you to be safe. So she's
mhm,
worrying about me and my safety. But she knew in her heart that that's where she needed to birth her
mm,
babies. Um, and doing it so quickly.
mm,
Also having two student midwives there to witness, this experience that they'll probably never get again. So
mm,
also sharing that space with
mhm,
up and coming midwives is pretty powerful. I
mm,
think, as much as I could say every birth is helps me to learn and is powerful, that was probably a standout moment in my career.
mm.
Yeah. Which I remember was around the time of Violet's birth, wasn't it?
A few days before.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's when you brought the bigger pool because that lady had it.
Yeah, that's right. Which
Jem
never
was
got
like,
used.
Jem, yeah, gotta blow up another one. It's a
That's right.
nice
We had two
one.
bottles.
I heard you guys in the background when I was in labor. I was like, okay, go ahead.
Sorry.
Could eat everything.
Yeah. Well, women do, right? They pick up on everything in the birth space.
Yeah.
They could pick up on a pin dropping, even though it looks like they're
Yes.
somewhere else,
Mm.
which is why it's very important how we speak and
Yeah.
how we hold that space for women.
And who's there as well.
Mm.
Mm.
Absolutely.
Hmm.
Because those feelings can be felt by others in that birth space, right?
Mm.
And how they believe in you as
Hmm.
well.
Mm.
Because if she's having a crisis of confidence, you don't need everyone else in the room joining you, right? Someone needs to hold fort and be like, no,
Yeah.
you've got this.
The strength.
Yeah, yeah.
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 Yeah. I mean, to try put birth into words, I appreciate that, we've shared nuggets and
Mm.
having birthed ourselves, but still, it blows me away. And even watching Violet grow, just evolve, and Mother Nature's intelligence blows me away often, let alone creating a baby, with love, hopefully.
Mm. She can be a bitch too, though, Mother Nature. And
Yeah,
I mean, you can't work in this space long enough to know that
yeah,
she is powerful
yeah.
as well. And again, that's why I truly believe and
Mm,
trust in, having wise women around you so that when, she hands out different cards, that you've got someone that can pick up on that.
yeah,
Mm.
yeah. Well, back to the breastfeeding journey for me without your wisdom and advice. I mean, I feel like it would have been harder, a lot harder.
Mm.
Would have gotten through it, but
Yeah.
again, that team.
Yeah. A lot of women will say, "Oh, I couldn't have done it without you," and I
Mhm.
can't. I hate.
Yeah,
I don't like the word hate, but it
yeah.
really it gets me because I'm like, well, of course you
Way
could have.
power. Yeah,
Yeah, don't give that away. Like that was something you did,
yeah.
and
Use your words
you,
wisely.
yeah, but of course, it would
Yeah,
have been different if I wasn't here.
yeah.
It would have been a different experience. Could have been a different birthday party, right?
But they normally say that, right? Because I said it to you after birth when
Yeah,
you're just like open shutting
yeah.
your mind. So
Oh,
the choice of words is a bit hard.
yeah.
I'm still finding it hard to put sentences together.
Together.
Not
That's oxytocin. You're still breastfeeding. I
yeah,
still find it hard to put sentences and words. Sometimes I forget the word and. I'm like, what and? How do I spell that? It's oxytocin, right?
just don't use end.
Yeah.
Mm.
But even like the word baby brain, it's not baby
Yeah.
brain. It's like, let's use the word matrescence. You're still
Mm.
nursing a baby. You're still
Yeah.
very much in the motherhood vortex. Like your
Mm.
brain obviously shifts to come to its emotional, intelligence because you're caring for a
Mm.
human that can't even string a word together, right?
Mm.
Like you, you
Mm.
need to look after and nurture and protect that baby
Mm.
when it can't really communicate with words. So
Mhm.
where do you go to? You go to your emotions and you
Mhm.
try and pick up on what their needs are.
And then, if you can, which I definitely recommend now, looking back to the earlier postpartum days, have some sort of relationship with yourself because that has been so helpful for me to be a present, loving, hands-on mama with Violet.
Well, if you don't,
Mm-hmm.
then their babies were going to cop it, right? Because you can't be
Mm-hmm.
fully present for someone if you're not looking after yourself. And it took me 3 babies to learn that.
Yeah.
And even now, sometimes I make deals with myself. Do I go to the spare bedroom and get some sleep, or do I go back to my child I haven't seen for 24 or 48 hours? And the push pull, which is again comes back to matrescence, is you want to go to your child
Mm-hmm.
because that's what Mother Nature, especially when you birth physiologically, there is you hardwired into this child. Their soul doesn't start leaving you until they're 7,
Mm-hmm.
right? And when they start to separate mother and child from yourself to them.
Mm-hmm.
So of course you're going to want to pull yourself to the child, but you have to do you first.
Yeah, but it's easy to say,
So easy to
put
say.
yourself first.
How? How do you even brush your teeth? I mean, there's some days I still don't shower for 2 days because where do I fit that in? Or if you've got someone that won't let you put them down, I had a Velcro baby with Frankie. I couldn't put her down.
Mm-hmm.
And still, she like, I mean, I got kicked in the mouth this morning at 2 a.m. by her because she's still very close to my body. Um, but that's where your tribe comes in, and that's
Yeah.
where it's really important to have that support around you. And I remember a woman I birthed with at Avalon, she said, every time you say tribe, Janine, I just picture us outside our huts
Mm-hmm.
with our children at our feet going, where's our tribe? Because we're so many of us don't have it anymore.
Yeah.
So finding the women in your community,
Mm-hmm.
the women who you can really be you with, find
Yeah.
those people.
Yeah.
And a lot of, like, I run a matrescence group now. I've become
Yeah.
part of a birth time collective where
Mm.
we're running groups in fourth trimester groups where to bring you in to connect in with other mums when our care starts saying goodbye,
Yeah.
and then up to that sort of 1 year mark so that you can have a community of mums and babies that
Mm-hmm.
you can do the Me Too with, or,
Yeah.
sit in that big space.
Yeah, I'm still seeing a few of those mums from the group that you made
Amazing.
when I gave birth, and that's been huge in the journey. To be like, oh, are you experiencing this with beads or just being seen, but also using your voice, not just giving yourself time, which bless my mother-in-law, I remember 2 weeks in, I was so set on staying at home for 6 weeks, following up postpartum, ancient wisdom, stay in your bubble. And I think I got to 3 weeks and I hadn't left the house. But for me, Mother Nature is part of my nest, right? And my healing. But I blocked that out because I was really fixed on I need to just lay. But my mother-in-law, she was here and she said, please go down to the beach. I know you love the water. Just go. Violet's okay. And I went, and as soon as I rocked up to Kelko, the boardwalk there and the ocean, I was bawling. Like I'd never seen the ocean before. And that just, oh, I will never forget that. I felt like the new part of me was seeing the world for the first time and I was re-meeting myself in such a beautiful way. Yeah, like I need this. And from there, step by step, it wasn't quick. I then, when I was ready, started to exercise more. Went down the road. Sam would call me 15 minutes later. Violet's up. She's hungry. Exclusively breastfed. Didn't want to take a bottle of my milk. I'd race home, but I still got those 15 minutes. And now I'm in a rhythm of I'm training 3 times a week. She's not feeding, obviously, as often. Oh,
Shifts and changes, right?
yeah, and thank goodness for that because I can be present and love her so more fully without letting my shit come in the way.
Yeah.
Because we're human and it does if you don't give yourself space to.
Yeah, and your children will grow up and they will leave. And then you're left with you again. So you've got to still keep finding you and your partner as well.
Yeah.
I found my partner again over the weekend. And I just watched Wuthering Heights. So a week ago, I wanted to divorce him because obviously I did not have that kind of love in my life. And my husband is, I was honest with him and I said, listen, I wanted to divorce you last week because, I watched a movie. He goes, darling, you are so lucky to have me. And I really am because he really is a good husband and he's a good dad. but it's about re-finding your partner again after motherhood, because birth can break you and remake you and turn you inside out and around and around. I'm pretty sure Hannah Dahlen says that, but it really does, and it changes your relationship with yourself, your partner, your community, everyone.
But what I really have always loved about you from the moment I met you, your honesty and authenticity. That's a superpower. And the more of us in general, not just women, but the more of us who are real with life, like, yeah, you wanted to leave your husband. Cool, you own that. You're not like,
Also, I was on my period.
yeah.
Right? So
no, but
yeah,
in the language,
yeah,
having that chat,
yeah,
leaning into it.
yeah.
You know, me and my best friend were talking about being real with, yeah, like this is really shitting me and voicing that, not playing the good girl or
No,
carrying it because you think you need to. No,
no, I've never been a good girl. Used to
that's
get
what
in
I'm
trouble a
after.
lot.
What a powerful path you're leading.
I mean, if you know, everyone else wasn't either, but I was the one that always
Yeah.
get caught and
Yeah.
seen because I am so authentic. I'd be like, yeah, I did
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
I'm really honest because I can't not be honest because it's not who I am. And you know what? Sometimes when you are honest with other mums, it helps them to then
Be honest.
be
Yeah.
honest too.
Yeah.
And we I think with social media now, it's so easy to look at a life of what all you see on there, but it's not like that
And
in real
movies.
time, right? And movies,
It
like
can hypnotise you.
it can. Oh, that's what I should have. Instead of coming back to the gratitude of actually, you know, this is actually I'm actually got some pretty good stuff going on here, but it's can be hard, and being honest about the hard bits too.
And I feel like that's a beautiful place for us to wrap up, really, because whoever's listening, whatever path, journey they're on in terms of pregnancy, about to give birth or not even,
Yeah.
it's, yeah, follow who you are, and by coming back to you, giving yourself space to learn you, letting the ink show you who you are, reflections, huge. That's been huge on my path to understand who I am more and more, and it's a constant journey, but then you can make empowered choices for yourself that's within you because you're your greatest teacher
and advocate.
And then that energy, everything's energy, as Bruce Lipton
Bounces back.
Yeah. So I essentially found you, but I believe because I was operating at a certain vibration, not that it's better or worse than others, it's just different. I attract resonance. Yeah, and that really is life, right?
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, what an honor. Thank you so much for sharing. And people who want to look at your work or speak to you,
I'm Janine at IBIRTH in Instagram.
Yeah.
IBIRTH Intimate Birth Beginnings on Facebook.
Yeah.
And I have a website, www.ibirth.com.au.
Awesome. I'll pop it all in the show notes.
Thanks for having me, Liv.
Thank you. Pleasure. Bye, everyone. Thanks for tuning in.